And to this day, that is still one of my favorite intros for any video game, without question. You know, I love my anime, I love the cutscenes, or introductions for the Tales games and sorts, but god damn if I'd say I hated that. Or if I hated this one. Or, wow, I'm already losing. You can just tell how excited I am. I'm getting a little more confused with my word speech than usual. But anyway, greetings ladies and gentlemen, Smiling4 here, and welcome to War of the Monsters, a fighting game released back in 2003 for the original PlayStation 2. And now, it's got a remake for the PlayStation 4. If only I had done my searching. Had I known this game was re-released a couple years ago, I would have covered this game on the spot. You know why? Because this is without doubt one of my favorite video games of all time, especially as a kid. I don't know what it is, but back when I was in my elementary school days, you know, this was before I actually knew what the PlayStation 2 was, or sometime actually when I was getting used to the PS2. You know, my step-siblings, they had this console, they didn't play much, so as you can expect, me being the gamer, I spent a lot of time on PS2 kind of experimenting with the games they had. This game, I was kind of iffy with it first, I don't know, something about it turned me off, but I gave it a chance and boy am I glad I did, because, well, I'll explain as we go throughout the series, but yeah, let's actually get into this. So, as you can tell from the title of the video, this is going to be a not quite story mode beginning thing. This is more so me getting into my backstory with this game, as well as kind of how this game works, because, well, yeah, this is a fighting game, people. And if you follow fighting games at all, or at least watch the completionist when he plays fighting games on his channel, you would know that most video games that are fighting based don't really have much of a story to them. So, because of that, I'm going to be tackling this game in a very different light than my other playthroughs. This first video, I don't know how long this is going to be. Who knows, maybe it'll be like 10 to 12 minutes, just because of, you know, the concepts and all, but after this, you're going to get yourself some lengthy videos, and at the time of recording this, you know, I finished Undertale, but I'm deciding whether or not to put this in between the series, or right afterwards, while I'm working up 2 parts by sleep. So there's your insight there. Anyway, you know, enough of me rambling. Let's actually get a little more into this backstory. So, yeah, this game was released in 2003 by I can't remember what it was. Incongening Inc. Yeah, I did not pay attention to the credits back as a kid, nor did I do any research. Hey, typical of a Let's Player, am I right? But basically, it was made by them, published by Sony, obviously, and, well, this was kind of a polarizing game for the early 2000s. You know, a lot of people embrace nostalgic feel, but as people might have realized, it didn't do as well as people would have thought. And, well, again, you'll see that when we get to it, but, yeah. it worked. It was a good enough game. Unfortunately, never got to the point where we get a sequel. And eventually the company would disband and make it entirely differently and go on to do different things, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And, you know, one little fun fact about this game is that the company that primarily made this game was actually stationed here in Utah, where I was born and raised. So one of my favorite video games made in the same state I was born. Maybe that's why I have such a nostalgic presence to it, why I love it so much. Either way, playing the game a lot, and the rest speaks for itself. I don't want to keep you guys around. We've only got for 5 minutes, just me talking about my nostalgia for this game, so I'm just going to shut up and actually get into this. So, let's actually press the start button. Oh yeah, by the way, because this is the PlayStation 4, or the PlayStation 2 game compared to PS4, the controls are a bit different. As, you know, like I said, there's a start button. In this game's case, you actually hit the little touchpad. You know, hit it right, does start, hit it to the left, and that's the select button. And they have more preference later on, but again, we'll get to that when we get to that. So, here's how I'm going to be doing this series. If you go into one-player mode, you got yourselves 3 options: Adventure Mode, Free-for-all, and Endurance Mode. Adventure Mode is what I'm going to be tackling mainly for this series. I'm going to be going through this adventure as, well, as I kind of just do things. I don't know how to put it into words. Basically, expect a different kind of LP. Because since the adventure mode is going to be pretty short, you know, fighting games and all, I'm deciding one of 2 things. Either A, I'm going to be making a 40-part video, or like a full-length video for each playthrough of this game. Because, you know, fighting game, multiple characters, you know how that is. Or to split it into 2 parts. I'm not sure. Eventually I'll decide, but for now, just go for that. I'm going to go through the adventure mode with each of the characters this game has, and I'm not going to specify which ones are which yet, because, well, I want that to be somewhat of a surprise. You know, I want you guys to kind of see it as it happens, instead of just me going in and showing off all the characters and wondering, okay, what's going to happen? So yeah, gotta save a bit of freedom for you guys. But yeah, that's what I'm mainly going for with this series. But I will be doing other things. You know, showing off all the other modes, or most of the other modes if I can. Free-for-all, for example. I may do a few matches in this. I'll not spend too much time on it. Free-for-all is exactly what you think it is. You know, you got all your... Oh yeah, that's right. They showed the little menu of monsters down there. Well, hey, you already saw some of them in the freaking trailer, so I guess it's not that big of a spoiler. But now you get to see what they actually do when it comes time. But anyway, you can select your monsters up to 3, because this is PS2. You can hook up to, what was it? 4 players. And then in the free-play option, you actually have 3 different kinds of modes. Sudden Death, which is exactly how it sounds. You know, you get 1 life, you kill a monster, that's it, you win. You got the main mode, which is, you know, just setting the thing to wins. For each monster you kill, you get 1 win. Up to 10 wins is how many you can set. And when that one monster has that certain amount of wins, that's it, game over. And then unlimited play, again, as you probably expect, you just keep playing over and over again. You can die, doesn't really mean much. I'm not sure if there's actually a counter that tells you how long you've been playing either, but something there that's there for you. In terms of player... wait, that's right, one more thing. And then finally, the Endurance Mode. Endurance Mode, this is basically your survival mode, as well you can tell from the name alone. Basically, you get to choose 1 monster and see how long you can survive, and you can actually get pretty high with the right character, and if you've been training long enough. How well exactly? Let me just show you a few little screenshots / videos from a few little minor sessions I've recorded prior to actually doing this Let's Play. Yeah, you can go that high. And that's just with this one character. Just imagine what spend multiple hours and hours with each of the monsters, you know, understanding their strengths and weaknesses. Imagine how high you can get. And at the end of each endurance run, wherever you do die, you get yourself some tokens. And I'll get more of the tokens, you know, eventually, but for now I'm just going to hold off for a bit. So yeah, that's 1 player. 2 player is essentially the same thing. You get your free-for-all option, unlimited play, endurance, etc., etc., but you also get yourselves, I believe, a mini-game mode. You can have 3 mini-games. Maybe I'll show those off during the series at some point as well. Not sure. But basically, they're literally just there for extra fun. Not my personal favorite things, but they can be a good distraction when you're tired of just, beating each other up and you want a little variety. Options, that's pretty straightforward. You can change the difficulty. It's automatically on easy, medium, then you got hard. Me, I'm going to be going for the easy route because, yeah, that's a bit of a cop-out, but believe me, if you did medium and you're starting out, it gets difficult. And with some of the characters that you play in this game, as someone who's not mastered each of these characters, yeah, I'm going to get wrecked, and I'd rather not prolong a video for an hour. So I'm going to go with the easy mode, plus it makes it easier to kind of, commentate over. You got your 1 and 2 player controls, they're the exact same thing. Basically, you go here, you get yourselves 3 options, Scheme A, B, and C. And they each have their different things. For the playthrough, I'll be going by Scheme A, and oh yeah, that's right, I forgot I had that. Yeah, I finally downloaded the extra cutscene for 358 Days Over 2. About time. Anyway, what was I saying? Alright. For this video, once I'm done explaining all these, I'm going to be using this setup to kind of explain the controls of the game. So look forward to that. And then you can, of course, change things however you want to, as you wish. Audio, that's pretty straightforward. You can go either to mono or stereo. I'm going for stereo because one I can actually hear out of, but I'm curious, why doesn't it do mono? It doesn't seem like it changes anything. Maybe it changes something on the Elgato, I don't know. But anyway, then you got, of course, you got your FX volume, your music volume, very helpful. I might actually tinker with this thing in particular when it comes time for the endurance mode. Maybe. And then, of course, you got 1-player vibration and 2-player vibration. I'm not sure if this actually works or not. I don't think I've ever seen the actual rumble work. Maybe it's just there for the sake of, having things. You can load your settings. I'm assuming that means you can pre-do it. Yep, and then you can do accept and save settings. And I'll do that for memory card slot number 1. They save settings and tokens, previous settings will be overwritten. Yep, that's what happens each time. As you can tell from that little thing alone, it's going off the PS2 logic, but in reality, you can use both memory cards and kind of abuse things in a way when it comes down to unlocking things. There's load game here. This more so applies to adventure mode, where if you're tired, you don't want to keep going, all out, you can just load your game from whatever fights you just got to, and there you go. And then unlocks. Unlocks are exactly what they sound like. Here you can get yourselves character costumes, and well, some extra levels, as well as the big ol' mini-games. Yeah, okay, so these are the mini-games. Dodgeball, Big Shot, and Crush-A-Rama. That's right, I forgot about that. And while I'm here, why not? Just so I can get out of the way, I'll show you guys a few little trophies. So if I do this, use the memory card slot as is, overwrite, and the Destroyer of Worlds. This is the trophy you earned for having all the areas unlocked. Yep. And then, of course, you got the minigame unlocked. Each minigame that you buy will obtain you 1 trophy per thing. Actually, I guess while this is going on, if you can dodge a monster... Wait, actually, that's the full thing. Oh, if you can dodge... Okay, so that's the whole thing. We can get Big Shot. Here's what that trophy is all about. Man, if you haven't figured out the tokens on the currency, get those from Endurance Mode and Adventure Mode, there you go. And there's your the Big Shot, but ching. And then finally, for good measure, cha-ching. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, wait, is there not actually a trophy for that one? I guess one there was. Crush-A-Rama, indeed. And now I get the Master of Minigame trophy for getting all the minigames unlocked. And then finally, because I'm dying for this one, I've been wanting to do this for a while, you can buy... There are 2... Not so much secret monsters that you can unlock, more like you have to earn money in order to actually get them. For each character you unlock for the first time, you get the trophy, according to them, including Wrath of Raptros, like there, and then the Zorgulon one. Which I can do this right now. And if you're wondering, well, why am I bothering with this? I'm kind of spoiling things, aren't I? It's a PS2 game. Things happen. I really don't care at this point. Plus, it's going to make the next time a little easier. And I'm just gonna see if I can grab each of these costumes real quick, because I have all these tokens, and I want to see how much I actually have left from all my, you know, fun hijinks and everything. This may take a while. Yeah, I'll probably just cut until I actually get to the trophy. So, see you guys in a quick flash. Alright, and you get yourselves the Monster Faction Trophy for getting every single costume in the shop. I don't think there's a trophy for getting everything unlocked, so it is what it is. But yeah, 18,000 tokens alone, nice. I mean, granted, I can get plenty more, but that's why I actually hit it on the done a little bit, in terms of actually buying the rest of the stuff. But yeah, that's the basic stuff when it comes to War with the Monsters. So, now I bored you for about 15-ish minutes, why don't you actually get into the good stuff? So, with that said, let's throw it over to the tutorial segment for controls. Hit, future me, or I guess not even future me, just footage recorded by me. Anyway, let's flash to the actual stuff. So, welcome to War of the Monsters 101 Academy extravaganza sort of thing. I don't know how to get into this. Here you will learn the basic combat mechanics and the way the game works in terms of the environment. Starting off with the basics. Of course, as you can see in the top left corner, you got yourselves your HP bar and your stamina bar. They sound like they sound exactly what you think they do. HP is the green bar. As you take damage, you lose HP. There you go. Stamina, same thing, except that's for attacking. Now, you can complete your stamina meter in two ways. One is from attacking, as you will see, and two is through shooting. So your basic commands are square, triangle, X, and circle. Square is your basic light attack. You do that, it takes a few shots. Light attacks, they take longer to actually land a final blow. That's easier to block. A triangle is your heavy attack, though. Heavy attacks deal more damage, and thus take a little less time to actually do, but they take a longer charge time. X is to jump, or alternatively to fly with certain characters. And finally, you have circle as your throwing button, or grabbing things in general button. And that changes depending on what you actually put a circle on. And there are three types of objects with different effects. First is the blunt object, which is usually a cylinder or some kind of weapon. Literally just there for dealing extra damage, nothing more, nothing less. Secondly is your basic throwing spear. These can range from little towers, radio towers, to actual little prongs in the ground. You throw those, you impale your enemy, and when you do, they're immobilized. They can't attack. The character has to mash the X button, or any other buttons repeatedly if they are the ones actually being affected by it to get out. If they don't get out in time, well, they're vulnerable to other attacks, so yeah, don't get stuck in it. And then of course there's just the basic. Any object that is not blunt or impaling can be just used specifically for throwing at objects, and each one can be interesting. Like some of them can be used for electrifying a bow, thus sending them into the air, or blowing them up, which is pleasant. So pleasant, though these happen. Next up on the list is the special commands. Now if you press circle, triangle, or square and X, you will do one of two different attacks. Square and X is your basic close range attack. If you are feeling cornered, you can use that right on command, and by doing so, you'll be able to actually clear a little breathing room for yourself. Alternatively, you also have the circle and triangle command, which is your long range attack, and this one is actually a variant depending on which monster you choose, which is actually kind of one of the few things I like about it. It gives the game a little uniqueness when it comes to actually fighting with different monsters. Next up on the list, going into the advancedness of the other commands, specifically the direction commands. If you manage to click the up button twice quickly and then hold it, you can do a bit of a charge. Charging can either be used to run away from foes if you're, say, low on stamina, or actually not even low on stamina, just low on HP, because charge attacks, they cost stamina. And alternatively, while in the middle of a charge, if you manage to press the triangle button, you can actually do a charge attack, which literally, if it connects with an enemy, assuming they're not blocking, it can send them flying, instant flying. But keep in mind, that costs extra stamina, so it's really a case of emergency sort of tactic. Next up, terms of that is the up attacks. And no, I don't mean like the up... Well, I guess in a way, kind of the up attack. But anyway, if you hold up the up button with the triangle, you can send your enemies flying. Basically, all your up attacks are launching enemies. As for the down attacks, which are my personal favorites of the two, these ones can be your stun attacks. Down triangle, early on, if the enemy... I think even if the enemy's blocking, you can actually hit him with this, and it'll stun them. As for down square, I think it does roughly the same thing, although I can't really say for certain. If you're in the air, and then you press down for triangle, you can actually do a bit of a somersault attack where you just, hammer down on your foe. And if it connects, and if not blocking, it can send them flying as well, kind of like a charge attack. Although it takes a longer time and it's kind of less accurate to hit. And same thing for up square, just not as effective. In terms of going back to the basics, you also have your L2 and R2 shoulders. L2 is used for the free look. Free look is pretty worthless in my opinion. I never use that, so don't bother with that. The R2 is block. That's pretty straightforward. You block attacks. This can block pretty much everything except for certain objects, like spears and explosive items, as well as grabs and your special attacks. So be wary for that. Going down a peg is also the L1 and R1 buttons. Holding down L1 and R1 together, you can do a little bit of a lock-on feature, which is very helpful when you're trying to actually, focus on the enemy. It's the feature I use the most. And if you just press L1 and R1 separately, you can do a bit of a strafe thing. As in, you can go left or right, fire enemies at will, make it a little easier to kind of dodge at certain attacks. And then finally is the select. Select is actually a thing I learned about recently, where if you click the button, while you are in a bit of a charged up meter state, as you'll see by the indication of the glowing bar, you'll taunt. And because of that, your powers will be amplified. Significantly amplified. Now, it doesn't last forever. In fact, it still works the same as if stand-up meter works the same as a regular meter. You lose it for each little combo you do, for each time you shoot a projectile, etc., etc. As long as you're in the rage mode, enemies will not know what they're able to do. It is amazing. And thus, congratulations! You are now official graduate of the War of Monsters 101 Academy Extravaganza, I guess. Again, not sure what to actually name this segment. But either way, you now know how the game works. You now know the basic controls. You know the environment around you. You know the basic stats and how they work. Hopefully, assuming you didn't skip the bit. Either way, now it's time for the actual finale to the video. Now, I'll be frank with you guys, I'm actually kind of recording this part a few days after I have done the other stuff. So I don't remember exactly what I said in the videos. I mean, I could easily just go back to the end and just say, let's see, there's that and that, but I don't know, that seems a bit boring to me. Also, I'm kind of on a strap for time, so in case I forgot to mention this, because there's a likelihood that I did, the way I'm going to be tackling this playthrough is, of course, I'm going to be going through each of the monsters. There are 10 of these guys. Quote, 10 of them. A single playthrough from what I've seen on YouTube can last around 40-ish minutes. Now, I may either decide to make just one part dedicated to one monster or split it into 2 parts like I usually do. It all depends. I don't know the full specifics. We'll see until we get to that point. But either way, when it comes time for those, I'm going to be treating each playthrough as if it's the first playthrough that I'm doing, period, for the channel. For example, say I were to choose a, well, actually I probably shouldn't say, because, I'm also blacking out the entire roster, so you guys are kind of, you're kept in suspense for a little bit of time, and I'll get to that in a second. But basically, I'll be, for each monster I'll be treating as it's a new playthrough, as if you guys haven't seen the, entire adventure mode before, so be wary of that if you do get a bit tired. Really, the main reason I'd be going over this, or for you to even see all the other episodes, is just for the sake of seeing how each monster functions. And, what I think about them, whatever kind of humor I can get myself into, and you know how it is. It's a YouTube video, after all. So that's that. And in addition, I wasn't sure how I was going to actually go through each of the monsters. You know, I was originally considering just going from, you know, lowest ranking monsters to highest ranking monsters, but then in that case, I don't know, I think it'd be kind of unbalanced, dude. And for people that have actually played the game, to be like, wait, why do you think that of that character as this rank and yada yada yada? So here's what I've done. In between, you know, today and the last time that I record stuff for this first episode, I have downloaded an app that allows me to do basically a random generator pick for names. So I can add a character's name, and then I just click add generate, and it'll select the order for the monsters that I'll be going through, or whoever's in the name. You get the idea. That's how I'm going to be going through this. And I've got a list screenshotted, so that'll be that as it happens. So even I don't know what monster I'll be going through for each playthrough in order. It'll be completely different each time. And that's, in a sense, gives it a little bit more of an interesting appeal to it. So yeah, now that's all said and done, next time on War of the Monsters we begin the adventure mode with, well, who knows? You guys will have to stick around and see. But either way, guys, if you guys have enjoyed this little tutorial segment intro to the game, make sure to give it a like and comment down below. Let me know in the comments below, actually, if you have played this game, like, what is your favorite monster just to play as in general, without spoiling things for, well, actually, I guess for people that don't remember the game, they probably won't even be able to. I don't know, just let me know what your favorite monster was in the comments below. Maybe do it without the naming conventions. Maybe that'll help. Share this video with your friends, should you feel the need to. And of course, if you are new here to the channel and want to see more stuff like this in the future, as well as RPGs and anything else I throw into the mixer, and make sure you guys have subscribed and joined the Dread Knights, myself, Smiling Dread 4, and I guess the monsters in their quest to get through adventure mode and hopefully survive. Because heaven forbid, they're gonna need it. But hey, until next time, this is Smiling Dread 4 signing out, so have a great rest of your day, take care, and I'll throw it to MTU for the end card slate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the adventure mode of whomever I'm starting with. So see you guys then.